Hello vinyl community, this is Mike with TCAT's Deep Vinyl Tracks, and I'm doing a video today to show some recent thrift store finds, and there's going to be a few other finds on top of that. Most of these come from the thrift store though, so got a stack of CDs. They were each around $2 a piece, and to start off, found this interesting local band called Versus. Have no idea what they sound like. I just thought I would pick it up. Here's one from the Album Leaf. The Album Leaf is an instrumental yet alternative band. I've really enjoyed their music, and this one is called In a Safe Place. And I'm just going to go through these quickly because there's quite a few, and I don't want to have this video going too long. They Might Be Giants. This one is called Severe Tire Damage. It looks to me like it's some kind of a compilation because there's a lot of hits on there. We got Tom Waits, Closing Time. Another one from They Might Be Giants. This is a double CD, and the nice thing about it is it collects some of their early stuff. So one CD is the album They Might Be Giants, the second CD is Lincoln, and then both of them also have two EPs on each disc, and there's also a bunch of bonus tracks like They Might Be Giants has shorter songs, but there's like 8 or 9 bonus tracks on each side. So I know you won't be able to see that because it's so small, but I thought that was a pretty cool compilation there. David Byrne. This is called Raymomo, something like that. Primus, a favorite band of mine. This is Rhinoplasty. I've got pretty much all of their albums on CD. I did not have this one. This is actually an EP of covers. Some interesting covers on there. The Family and the Fishing Net is a Peter Gabriel cover. Amos Moses, I think that's a pretty popular cover that they did. Too Many Puppies is one of their original tracks. Behind My Camel, I believe, is one from the Police, and The Thing That Should Not Be is something from Metallica, and then there's a couple of bonus tracks on there too. Love picking up anything by The Residents, that weird band called The Residents. This one is called Petting Zoo. It's a compilation of rare songs, rare tracks from different projects they did. This is like the greatest hits of I'm sorry, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I had to look. This has got some great tracks from them. It's probably really the only thing I need from Frankie Goes to Hollywood. This one's interesting. I didn't know this even existed. It's a double CD of Cheap Trick at Budokan, but this is the complete concert, and a lot of tracks on there that got left off of the single album. So I thought that would be a good one to have. This was sealed, Van Halen's Diver Down. Dead Can Dance. This is a compilation CD. I know most of the tracks on here already because they come from various albums. It's called A Passage in Time is the name of this compilation. But the main reason I got it is because the last 2 tracks were previously unreleased, so they're not on any other album. EP, this one is also from the Album Leaf. It's a band you don't see very often, so I always like to pick up anything. This one is called One Day I'll Be on Time. Punkorama 2001, this is volume 6. A lot of different punk artists on this one. And we got Pearl Jam. This one is, I don't remember the name of it now. Backspacer, that's it. And I already have this on several different formats and that. This one is the 50th, or the 20th, yes, the 20th anniversary edition of Dark Side of the Moon. And it comes in this little box set. Has a booklet inside with cool pictures and lyrics and all that stuff. And there's a bunch of pictures here, like they're not even postcards, they're just pictures that came with it. And I got this DVD. I don't get a lot of DVDs unless they're music DVDs. And this one is Leonard Cohen, Live in London. Great concert from Leonard Cohen. Okay, that's it for the CDs and everything. Now, I've got some vinyl to show you. And again, like I said, most of these are from various thrift stores. So they've gone anywhere from $2 up to $6. Thomas Dolby's The Golden Age of Wireless. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about these. The cover's wet, but the record itself is in great shape. From Pat Metheny, the soundtrack to The Falcon and the Snowman. And this has the track with David Bowie on it also. Again, you know, you see these things for $2, you pick them up. Aldo Nova, this is one that almost everybody has, I believe. Never was a big fan. Well, I can't say I wasn't a big fan. I just never paid attention to Bob Welch's solo albums. But after listening to some of the Fleetwood Mac finds that I've had, I've really grown to appreciate him a lot more. So I got this one for $2, 3 hearts. One of Al Stewart's earlier records. This is Past, Present, and Future. Usually don't pick up any records by this duo, but this was one of their first ones, and their earlier records are actually really good, and that's Daryl Hall and John Oates. This one has Sarah Smile on it. And I know I really am a big fan of Abandoned Luncheonette, which is one of their albums, and a couple more of their earlier ones. So this is one of those. We'll give it a try. Greg Kihn. This album's called Rockin'. This has got the hit, the breakup song, or subtitled, They Don't Do 'Em Like That Anymore. And another one by Greg Kihn Band. This is Continued. So it was fun to find a couple of those. Let's see. Let's go down here a few. Okay. Sweet's Desolation Boulevard. Really big fan of this record. I had a terrible copy of it. The record itself is in really good shape on this one, though it does have the tape down the spine. The record sounds really good, and one of my favorite albums. This is from a band from the late 80s, early 90s, I believe. I remember having their album on cassette at one time, way back. But this is just a 12-inch single, Boom Crash Opera. I don't know if anybody remembers them, but I actually enjoyed their CD when it was out way back then. This has an extended version of Onion Skin, which was the single off of that album they put out, and the B-side has another track from the album and then a bonus track that wasn't on the album. So Picked that up because I thought I'd never see anything by them. The Human League's Dare. This is the one that broke ground for them in the US with the song Don't You Want Me, and another great album I used to have a long time ago. Golden Earrings Cut. Not the best album, but it does have a great song on it. The Twilight Zone. There's a couple of really good songs on here too that I like, and I am quite familiar with this album. Like I said, it's not my favorite by them, but it's still a decent album. Atlanta Rhythm Section, a rock and roll alternative. I don't know why you don't see this very often, but it's one that I really, it's a record that I really liked back in the day, so I picked that up, you know, $2. Why would I pass it up? And this was also there, New Riders of the Purple Sage. The cover itself is in terrible condition, but again, the record looks good, so, you know, $2. And give or take a few bad record jackets for that. This is one I know Vinyl Richie, an artist Vinyl Richie likes a lot, and one that I've always enjoyed too. And was kind of surprised when I first seen him talking about him, but it's Buck Owens. And this is Buck Owens' Greatest Volume 6, or the best of Buck Owens. This one has the song It's a Monster's Holiday on it, which I think comes from one of Buck Owens' more rare albums. But very first track on there is on there, and it's in really good shape. So John Cougar from his early years, Nothing Matters and What If It Did. Parallel Lines by Blondie. I think I showed this in a previous video, but picked that one up because I've always been a fan of Blondie, and to go along with that, Debbie Harry's solo album, Cuckoo. That's the name of that one. Lynyrd Skynyrd, of course we know, was in that terrible plane accident, and part of the band died. They never put out a record for quite a while after that under any form of Lynyrd Skynyrd. However, the surviving members of the band did put out this Rosington Collins Band record, and this thing, it's just in immaculate shape. Look at that, just looks brand new, like I don't think anybody ever played it, but there it is. So it's a nice one to pick up. I picked up one from this band not too long ago. Here's another one. There's One Horse Blue. This is called Bite the Bullet, and this is a band from Canada, I believe. I don't know much else about them. Mike PC31 will be happy to see this one. My first record by this person, other than when he's with his band, and that's Dave Davies. This one is called Chosen People. So I've never had one of his solo albums. That's a fun one to add to the collection. Great copy of The Who's Meaty Beaty Big and Bouncy, a compilation, and also a great copy of The Who's It's Hard, and a double album from The Who, probably not Tommy or Quadrophenia, but a different double one, because it's one of those 2 complete album sets. And that is a Quick One and Sellout. Neither one of them I had previously, so it's a good way to get both of them at the same time. This was only $5, and it's in perfect condition. Finally got a great copy of Dire Straits' Love Over Gold. One of my favorite Dire Straits albums. This one is where they ventured more into the prog territory, and it's an excellent album, just one of their best. Um, Weather Report, Heavy Weather. Really like Weather Report. This is an excellent album from them. Has a great song Birdland on here, their rendition of it, and just love this album. So it's a good one to have a good copy of. These next couple are a big surprise. I didn't think I would ever see this record in real life. And it's probably one that hardly anybody knows. I've never heard this band mentioned on the VC, but they're a great band. If you're, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the band Swans. Swans started out, was headed over by Michael Gira, and it started out as kind of a really dark and sludgy metal. I don't know what you would call it, but it's very, some people say that the loudest and the darkest music ever recorded. So they were that way for a few years and released probably about 6 or 7 albums and EPs during that time until and then they switched their sound to more of a gothic, a heavy gothic, always with the same Michael Gira sound to it. And they were that way for a while, and then he went off and did his own another project called Angels of Light before he reformed Swans as a progressive, post-progressive band. But Angels of Light is the one I want to talk about. Great sound, great band, where he combines kind of a folkish sound along with a goth sound. Still his unmistakable vocals, but it has more traditional style instruments. And so Angels of Light released probably about 6 or 7 albums before he went back to being part of Swans again. This was the last album called We Are Him. I've heard this album before and just absolutely fell in love with it from the beginning. Just an excellent, excellent album, and I'm so excited to find a copy of this. Yes, it's used, but I thought I would never see it in vinyl especially. And just great, great music. If you haven't heard them, I suggest you go look them up. Just great stuff. There's what the label looks like, and it's that way on both records, all 4 sides. That is a double record. Great stuff, and I might talk a little bit more about that in a future video. Angels of Light. Another big surprise. I thought I'd pretty much given up on ever finding anything by this band. Minutemen. Yes, I paid a little bit more for both of these records, by the way. But this is their EP, Buzz and Howl Under the Influence of Heat. And another band that I just admire and love. I've got a lot of their stuff digitally and on CD, but I've never had anything on vinyl. So it's a great find to pick this one up. And for a really surprisingly decent price, because I've seen these go for upwards like $50, and I only paid $20 for it. So when I seen it offered at that price, I just had to jump on it. I figured that would be the only time I'd ever see anything like that at that price. Last of all, one that I ordered online that I've been wanting for quite a while. This is Porcupine Tree's The Sky Moves Sideways. Now, this particular album has existed in various different track listings and everything. This is the one that has the Moon Loop, the 23-minute version of Moon Loop on the 4th side. Now, Moon Loop was actually an improvisational project that Porcupine Tree did early on, and the original goes over 40 minutes. I think Robert Ballou from Block Sonic Wafers showed that he actually had a copy of that. It's a very rare one. this is probably the best cut of that improvisation, and it's cut down to 23 minutes. Um, but a lot of meandering has been cut out of it. Other than that, the song "The Sky Moves Sideways" is in two parts, and it's kind of similar to a Pink Floyd sound, which is a good thing because they do it so well. That's what the gatefold looks like. This was Porcupine Tree's earlier stuff, back when they were more of a psychedelic style. This one sounds very Pink Floydian, especially with the title track, and it's in two parts. Each part takes up a full side, and then the third, in between the two, there are four shorter songs. Just a great album. The Sky Moves Sideways is such a beautiful track, and it's one of those that you really have to listen to appreciate. I highly recommend listening to that one. It's one of my favorite albums by Porcupine Tree. So finally happy to get a great copy of that. So there you go. Those are my finds. So for the last of September and the first part of October. Thank you for watching. Again, my time went way over what I wanted it to, but I had a lot of stuff to go through. So thank you for being patient, and we will talk to you later.